damage.
Yeah.
And immediately IG.V are like, let's try and match their team fight a bit, and let's not just go all in physical damage.
Yeah. I mean, do you think down the line IG.Vitality could still consider the Lifestealer, or when you see those two heroes from MP, you're like, let's play something a little bit different?
You can still consider it. It's not. You want a mid here that has magic damage, I'd say. But yeah, you can definitely consider like a Lifestealer carry and then like a mid Ember, for example. So you've got the magic damage with the physical damage. Might be our first Winter Wyvern. I don't see any Winter Wyverns.
Oh, I don't recall seeing.
First Winter Wyvern of the LAN event.
Another hero added to what? According to that, 78. That's pretty incredible. First 2 days of Dota, and the second day only really halfway through, and we're seeing an incredible variety coming through from the sides. So very, very exciting indeed. MP's ban, take away the Ember from IG.Vitality, and IG.Vitality in turn. Again, looking at MP's, I mean, as we say, very, very much NP-specific bans from Vitality. You know, you would not see these three sets of bans against, many of them, maybe some of the heroes, but not these three together. Dazzle, Abaddon, and Naga, very much MP targeted.
Yeah, for sure. They've been, even first staging Dazzle and Abaddon, they've been running a lot of Naga. NP themselves banned the Ember, which is maybe less a targeted ban than any kind of a player, but a targeted ban at what's good against their draft. The Winter Wyvern, the Cold Embrace, which is not effective against Ember, not effective against Lina. In fact, Lina gets a free setup for her spells, so dealing with some of those kind of flavor meta mid heroes. Feels like there's a really diverse, nice, like good pool of mids, but not really sure what the carry pool just doesn't really offer as much right now. But like even with Lina Ember ban, there's still plenty of mids you can run right now. Some that are magic based, like heroes like the Invoker if you want, the Storm Spirit, and then there's the physical damage ones, the Shadow Fiends. Feels like there's no real limitations to the mid pool right now.
Obviously, one of the heroes I'm kind of looking at that's still in the pool is that Dogfight Surf Spirit, and with the Darkseer and the Slardar, could be very likely the Vitality go for it. Again, another way you could certainly work around Wyvern and Magnus having that sort of control in the team fights could be huge for Vitality. They themselves, they ban out the Lifestealer, interestingly enough, so they obviously realize that NP, with that Wyvern Magnus, trying to put Vitality off themselves from grabbing it, and could be, if they were trying to open up the field for them to take it, of course, for themselves to get Aoi on it, and as we know, one of Aoi's strongest heroes.
Yeah, I think with Slardar is like this hero is good as an initiator and vision hero from amp damage, even without physical damage to back it up.
Yeah.
Just having vision can help out heroes like Disruptor, for example, which may be a consideration as a support. That's more like the CIS style. Not sure if that's an IG.V kind of thing, but we'll see probably like a more fighting-oriented IG.V squad. MP pick up Clock. This is typically ran in the 4 position SVG. And they've also got the Mag, who's more likely going to be MSS's offlane hero. So we'll see some kind of offlane Mag or / jungle Mag and 4 position Clock roaming around, trying to match up to what the Slardar's doing.
Well, Vitality, I mean, the Monkey King is still there. We know a lot of these Chinese sides love to run it.
They've got the Slardar, though. That's like Slardar and Darkseer. That's like
True,
their 3 4 position heroes.
Yeah, okay.
Unless we see a really bizarre, like, carry Slardar. Who was running the carry? Oh, I'm thinking of there was a European match on after games at ESA. Tuned in, like some CIS team was running carry Slardar. I think it was Team VP running carry Slardar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, okay, that can work, I guess. But team fight, Warlock, a lot of big team fight for IG.V. And at this point, even though MP have Wyvern Magnus, I'd say the team fight edge is, in my mind, swung IG.V's way with this Warlock pick.
MP, what are you kind of seeing left in the pool that could be the kind of the Aoi core to match up with this Empower buff that they are going to have at their disposal?
Jugs, Bandle, let's say that's always the safe, reliable choice.
Could they play something like a Slark?
Slark, yeah, Slark's pretty good against high uptime. Can fight well around the cooldowns and punish the cooldowns. Doesn't hit buildings so well, but good hero to like get to the back lines, not worry too much about Slardar initiating on him because you can perhaps Dark Pact it off, get rid of the Corrosive Haze. So I'd say Ursa's also another good option. You can always, if you get the accept, you can enrage out of some of those stuns initiations. But guess what? It's an Alchemist. You know, why not?
Another a hero that, at least at the end of day 1, was suffering with him. Right? I feel like he's won a few games today. I want to say he's working his way back up. But Vitality,
We see a team like, let's counter the ALK for once. Normally it just seems like, our opponents will pick ALK and then we'll just keep picking our draft and pretend there's no ALK in the game.
It's such a good pick as well against all of MP's heroes. Well, you got 3 strength, and you've got a Wyvern who now has got to be even more careful with how he goes about cold embracing his allies, as Timber does not give a damn about that. If any, it just makes his life a whole lot easier to ensure that he hits the full combo.
Oh, yeah.
That's an incredibly strong pickup, it does feel like, for IG.Vitality. But the question comes here, where's that going to be? I imagine it's just what you put this in the mid, as you were kind of touching upon, just to directly deal with the Alchemist. And in that sense, do MP maybe take the Alchemist away from the middle lane?
Good run at safe lane. It's still going to get countered in the mid game by Timbersaw, like just as a natural hero counter. But yeah, he will have at least a better time getting his early farm. Kind of depends on what other options they see for their safe lane carry role.
And we see MP themselves, they ban out the Slark.
Yep.
I mean, again, a hero that can play quite nicely around potential RPs, the lockdown there. Also someone that doesn't mind too much about his targets being cold embraced. It's just going to be more essence shift stacks stolen for him.
Makes me think that MP were looking at that Ursa because they banned Slark and the Ursa was still left, but hey, IG.V, they spot a potential Ursa pick and ban it out. Morphling, another, not out counter per se, but it's definitely a good hero to run against Alchemist because you can try and play and beat Alchemist in the late game and make a replica of the Alchemist himself to farm with, to fight with. It's definitely a good hero to replicate.
And it seems very good against what MP have in terms of control, because it's rather lacking. Like this Morphling, if he gets the good Lincoln's timing, I mean, you have got RP, but then other than that, a certain follow-up, I mean, Clockwork, Morphling's going to easily create the distance between the two of you. Yep. It feels like a nice little finisher for Vitality.
He can more strength during the RP. He can wave out of the Clockwork control from the cog, so definitely not going to be easy to.
And I imagine as well, say he's caught hitting one of his allies near the winter. Oh my!
Where offlane is Mag mid now, I guess.
Oh my! Are they MP? Dude, I mean, again, we were talking about the variety of heroes here. Enchantress. I can't remember the last time I saw. You're a big advocate for.
Yeah, it's great against the Morphling replicate. Steal the replica.
Steal.
Jesus.
It's the. Oh my.
Bit thrown off by this.
Can you? Yeah, you can. You can enchant the Darkseer wall illusions, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
Well, there we go.
One
counter
tool.
Wow.
Those wall illusions don't normally hurt you that badly.
It's the Timbersaw counter. I mean, you get blown up, but at the same time, you could dish out a fair bit of damage to him with those impetus.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't enchant the Golem. That's not something you can
So,
do.
who's going to be playing what? I mean, we assume it must be Envy on the Alchemist.
I think it's...
Owie Mag?
I think it's mid-mag, safe lane Alch, and off-lane Enchantress is my guess.
I think I'd like... Because I guess, then the Magnus has a bit of a way to still farm the mid with the Shockwave and keep his distance from the Timber.
Well, none of these heroes are safe lane farmers outside of perhaps the Alch. The Alch is the only hero I look at this draft and think, oh yeah, safe lane carry Alch. The one thing the enchant can do, I don't know if this is the plan, like in the safe lane, is you can enchant the Darkseer Iron Shelled creeps, but that's
take them out of the lane.
Take them out of the lane, but that seems like a really
put them in the sim bin.
Gimmicky thing to do.
Let's see who's playing what. I'm so excited. The MP versus IG.V, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got? It's Owie on the Enchantress.
Okay.
Okie dokie doodles.
I mean, this guy plays a ton of heroes.
I mean, he plays all the heroes.
He's known for just randoming all the time in
Are they going to swap? They're not swapping. No. He's in. 8 tangos and ready to go. Owie on the core Enchantress. I mean, I think the last time I saw Ench was when Swindles was picking it for complexity. I mean, I can't remember. When have you seen it in a pro game? When was that?
It's an NA hero, you know the NA Abaddon in the offlane, the NA Enchantress. That used to be the offlane. I mean, this is an Owie one. He may be going to the offlane, even though he's the one position. May just be like, all right, MSS, you farm up in the safe lane. So looks like MSS is kind of getting a 1v1 type, and they're going to pressure the Morphling. They want to just contest his lane.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, so talking about Enchantress, what have we got in the talents? I mean, I've not seen him since the 7. What have we got? Anything OP? I mean, level 10, 25 movement speed at level 10 is pretty good. Yeah. 50 damage, plus 7 wisps. How much is that? That's quite a boost, really. I mean, max is 10, so up to 17. That's a lot of heals.
A lot of heals, definitely.
But his 50 damage is also very nice, especially if you're a core.
See either, but I feel like the core might go for the damage, but we'll see.
And then what, we've got the it's plus 60 slow.
I don't think you need the slow.
It's quite a step, but that's essentially an extra 2 points of it almost. So with 30 going up each time.
It's more like the Radiant Draft doesn't have many right clickers.
Yeah, it depends what you get.
Just the morph. Magic resistance is gonna. I mean, I think neither of those level 20s is that good, but
25.
He got 50 respawn.
A decent respawn time. Ooh, 50 seconds.
Ancients though.
Ancients though.
Ooh.
But then if you want to do that, just pick Chen and build an Ags, you know what I mean? Come on.
Nah, but you can't go contest the lane. Where is he going? He's mid. Is he going? He's going to grab a creep and then head to the offlane, it looks like.
Should we just, I would just leave an AoE cam this game. Let's see what the plan is.
So
straight to the jungle.
Yes. Probably grab one creep and then head bottom, or grab two and then head bottom. We'll see what the option's going to be.
MSS top with 1437 backing him up. Envy, of course, in the mid lane, and SVG stepping up, and he's up to the core role, essentially. He's getting himself that whole lane to himself down bottom. Exciting times for MP. And IG.V, in response, they've kind of switched it up a little bit. They are going aggressive with Paparazzi up on the top lane, being backed up by Super. Middle lane will indeed be Cicada, as expected, on the Timbersaw. Down towards the bottom, dogfights. I think he's being scouted here. He has a Centaur hot on the chase, making sure that I don't think he quite knows what he was going to go over there, interrupt it, and he was like, hang on, there's a Centaur on me. I don't want to do this. He felt scared.
Now he's got the double creep. Aoi's got to decide where to move. It looks like he's even eyeing off the mid lane. He's got a smoke. Yeah, he picked up the smoke on crew. Aoi's playing position 4 jungler. We just saw GH play a mid Naga. Now we're seeing Aoi play 4 position jungler. Like,
MP with the liquid strats.
What's going on here? I'm so thrown off by this tournament right now. He's not even... Okay, grab the smoke, but he's going to keep jungling for a little bit. He wants more... I was going to say, like, get a level 2. I mean, level 2 on Ench isn't like a scary ganking opportunity, but hey, you may as well jungle a bit more and wait till there's like a clear gank opportunity. Top lane Warlock is like the easy kill to get, but the bottom lane is like the perhaps more impactful. If you can get a kill on Darkseer, set Clockwork up to get a fast level 6, that's the bigger kill, but often you just go for like the safe free kill, which in this scenario would be the Warlock.
That's absolutely brilliant. We're seeing how the lane's going at the moment in July. Down bottom, 9 for 2. SVG still getting something out of the lane though, 5 for 3. He is finding CS. Top lane, Paparazzi, 8 for 1. MSS, 9 for 2 again. Pretty even there on these dual lanes. The mid lane matchup for the time being, as expected, Cicada is certainly winning the lane against the Alchemist.
Here comes the Enchantress smoke. For a second I thought it was heading mid, and I was like, that doesn't seem like a kill without Alk stun, but he's now heading towards top. Going for the safe kill, the Warlock most likely. Perhaps if Morphling does something silly, they can change target, go for him.
Aoi. Ready to go. Actually misses the initial shockwave. The slow onto Super. Into the setup. This should be a first blood, and indeed it is. Aoi picks up 1 and will force Paparazzi out of the lane. Gets him up to level 3, and Aoi already making himself felt across the map.
Yep. It's kind of like the freest kill on the map to grab, and Warlock. Not much you can do about that. If Ench's going to come gank you, that's just kind of inevitable, and we'll see what Aoi's next big plan is going to be if he stays around in the jungle, goes greedy, tries to just farm up a Midas and go for like a core Enchantress, or if he plays more of a space-creating, tempo-controlling style.
I mean, the question is, what do you build on this Enchantress? I mean, I guess, do we not see him build Ags because of the Alk, or will he need it sooner than Envy's going to be able to give it to him, do you feel? Or can he just go over items and wait for that later on?
You see some, like a drums build, I think, with the buffs to the item. Seems like a good option to get.
Oh, look at that. Skewer there into Aoi's creep. The setup, the execution, it's perfect. NP, pick up another. Again with Aoi's presence here on the top lane, and MSS's beautiful setup with that with the skewer.
I think the most confusing thing about Aoi to me is the fact that he started with 8 Tengos. I see 8 Tengos and I think, oh, he's going to lane. He's going to go like off lane, trade hits a lot, and fight. But he goes jungle with 8 Tengos. I really don't think that was the initial plan. I think it was like when they saw the lanes, he was like, well, I can't help the lanes. I'm going to go jungle now, because you don't get 8 Tengos to go jungle.
Maybe it's just PTSD with all these Monkey Kings around.
Monkey Kings, yep.
Gotta have those tree cutting abilities. Dogfights with the haste rune. Comes in and immediately says kind of a note. Drops the ward down, so we'll have a bit of info on the progress of Aoi here in MP's jungle. And top lane, Super again being gone on here by 1437. MSS, he'll miss the initial slow, but it might not matter. Has a shockwave again in a couple of seconds. Dogfights will come around with the cut around though. Keeps MSS off target, but hello, guess who it is? Once again, Owie is there. He'll miss the stun, but it doesn't matter. And Owie, we may have been forward thinking he was playing a support, but this man, he's on a killing spree at 5 minutes in. He is having a great old time.
Yep, being very, very effective. And just being chaotic, creating this space, getting these kills is more time and room for Alk to, I was going to say free farm and do well, but this Alk is going phase boots. Interesting. Not your everyday Alk build. Will we be seeing a more fighting-oriented Alk? I guess that's the other big question.
This is going to be Brown Boots Crystallis Gods.
He's got he's got second clue queued up, but I mean, it could just be the armor, you know, that blades could be for that, but
sure, yeah, he might have just queued it up so he had it ready to click. Well, we'll see that. I mean, Envy could be doing something a little bit different. It could be more of a battle out, something that we just haven't really seen at all. As I think, as you and a lot of people agree, it's just not the optimal way to. You have to play the hero. It is pretty one-dimensional at the moment, this Alchemist in this patch, isn't it?
It may just be a phase into Armlet Radiance. Like maybe the same build just with phase boots. Perhaps phase is like the item you get against Timber Sword to try and get the burst movement speed to dodge chakrams. With Brown Boots, perhaps it's just too difficult. So there's other small little possibilities as well, but he hasn't bought his phase boots, so there we go.
Oh, he has now?
All right.
He's all in?
Yep. So we'll find out where he goes, but yeah, he's queued up Armlet, which suggests it will just be a standard Alk build with phase boots along the way.
Yeah, I guess as you said, good for dodging some of IG.V's spells, and I guess in terms of farming around the camps, that movement speed helps keep up the GPM. Getting from camp to camp. Bottom lane, Super now heading down to help Paparazzi, who's moved over to farm in this safe lane. SVG, though, is very close to having that hookshot online. Very close to that level 6. Owie is kind of sitting down bottom as well with the tornadoes, as we can see, causing issues for Paparazzi.
Doing some good damage. Yeah, IG.V just wanted to come in and contest that neutral double stack, but took a lot of damage in the process. Morphling not really having the best time in terms of his farm, and Alchemist on the dire side is. He's got a lot of stacks, gets a nice double stack here. He stacked the Ancients while stacking the medium camp.
Oh, he's a smart man. And
the efficiency.
We got down bottom SVG, cutting the wave, and Cicada. Okay, 1437 has to be careful. Especially considering the start that Cicada's had. He has had pretty much free farm in this mid lane. 7.5 minutes in, reaching onto 50 CS.
Pretty tough to stay in that lane against a high level Timber, but 1437 just, he wants his XP, he wants to try and get that level 6, but gets punished a little bit. Not the end of the world by any means.
How's how are we doing? Still sitting down bottom. Nearly onto that level 6.
Treads into perhaps Orchid.
Maybe Urn?
Maybe Urn. Maybe Drums. Mentioned Drums is a very cheap, cost-effective item. Could be a strong option as well. A lot of good possibilities with just the casual Sages. And is leveling up the Untouchable early on. Interesting to note. But yeah, for now, things seem to be going pretty well in terms of NP's lanes. They've got all their core heroes getting farmed, the Clockwork's getting farmed, the Wyvern's taking over mid. 5 heroes getting at least something in terms of levels and farm on the map. It's a 2k gold lead fairly early on, and a 2k plus experience lead this early is the more surprising thing, because it's a lot harder to get the XP leads than the gold leads.
We're seeing as well dogfights, 1200 towards his blink. MSS 900 on the road to it, so key timings really for both of these heroes before we can start to expect to see them leave the lane and look to make the plays.
Well, clock's level 6, so MP don't have to wait for blinks themselves. They can just go around with this clock.
And they've got RP available as well, straight in. MSS is going to be able to almost certainly find this with the help of SVG indeed. And empowering SVG as well, making sure that he can do full damage inside that cogs.
I mean, the distribution of wealth for MPs really helps them. They've got level 6 on all their heroes. Meanwhile, IG.V have a level 4 Warlock, which isn't terribly underleveled. Like, normally you'd expect 9-10 minutes in Warlock to be perhaps level 5. If he's having a slightly tougher game or being a little bit more selfless, level 4. It's not like abnormal. It's just more that MP have managed to really split things up with the outgoing full dedicated jungle.
We see down bottom, Owie just continuing to be incredibly annoying for Paparazzi.
Yeah.
He's really struggling to find as much as Owie is here.
Chucking Impetus, and Morphling takes a pretty big chunk of damage, and he hasn't got the best sustain for this lane. Has the bottle and the Warlock heal, but no Ring of Health. Not sure if Perseverance and the Lincoln Sphere is really the best item in this game as well. Not a huge amount of single target spells to try and dodge this game.
You got a smoke wraparound here coming from IG.V. Cicada and Dogfights. They really want to do something about this Aoi Enchantress.
But Clockwork's down here ready to play around as well. It is still just a 2v4 for NP for now. TPs could theoretically come.
Here we go. Aoi's very low on the mana. He isn't going to have enough for the heal. Okay, he's got the 1 charges and goes diving back round to the safety of his own tower, but there's the initiation onto the initiation from SVG. The follow-through ultimate from 4037, holding back IG.V. SVG could be in trouble, getting cut down low here. He's now going to look for the TP out. Can he make it? No. MSS, no messing around, straight up with the RP and the skewer. They'll bring down the Timbersaw almost certainly, eventually, finally with the Shockwave. They did lose SVG, but they'll be claiming a second as it's a double kill for MSS as they find Dogfights as well. As MP, very good there with the reaction, making sure that they can come out on top when IG.V went for the wraparound, the smoke themselves, and then were looking to find the big kills, and they didn't end up getting an Aoi.
Such a good hook shot from SVG, locks in 2 in the cogs there, and any chance of Timbersaw chasing further was completely removed, so really quick reactions from him. Winter Wyvern having level 4 Splinter Blast is a great source of damage, and they're looking for a kill mid. SVG.
Super's in trouble.
Yeah, he wants that level 6. He ain't going to get it.
He's gone. Another kill for MP. SVG making things happen. As you said, we've seen what he can do on a support clock. He was given a bit more of an advantage this game, having that lane down bottom and getting those good levels. And he is having a fantastic time. And talking about fantastic times, MSS has now got that Blink Dagger. No RP, of course, for another 50 seconds, but he's going to be able to get around the map, keep the farm going with the 3.9 in power, and make sure that he's there to turn around any kind of play that IG.V goes for. And also worth mentioning, MV getting the space and the traction that he needs. 11 minutes in, 2,400 into the Relic, and he's been uncontested. Apart from in that laning stage, we're yet to really see Vitality make a move.
Found the Timbersaw once again. That's the one hero who's been doing well. Yeah. The one hero who's threatening right now and is can really find kills for IG.V, and you've got to worry about the most farmed hero is Timber, and he's just died twice in a row. That's very concerning. Meanwhile, Alk free farming. I mean, all the Dire Cores are getting some decent farms somewhere on the map, so yeah, very effective play coming out from NP. Farming efficiency, great use of their jungle from both Alk and the Enchantress, and they don't just keep on AFK farming. They use this early farm and levels to fight. Like, they're fighting before Warlock's level 6. Once Warlock's level 6, you would be a little bit more careful about how you pick and choose fights.
A bit of the dream here for MP. They get MSS with the Invis Rune. He spots out Super going for the ward, so they know that that's there. He'd love to find a second. We'll just skewer Super across into the hands of Envy, already cooking up the concoction. They'll get the kill. At the same time, though, bottom lane, down towards the jungle, Paparazzi and Dogfights were able to kill off SVG.
Definitely not a bad kill and a much-needed kill to help Dogfights towards that Blink Dagger. Feels like we're at that stage where a Blink, some kind of initiation for IG.V to play around to start trying to make some smoke moves is going to be absolutely necessary and crucial for them, and Dogfights is going to be the one who has to get up to that Blink, but can't really go to lane. Now he's just going to bully him out if he does try and attempt that. So, for now, bottom lane being pressured by Aoi. Elsewhere, NP farming, creating space for Envy to get a 13-minute Radiance.
It's going to be a powerful out for sure. Rocket Flare comes down. Dogfight's just on the outskirts of it, and in fact, Paparazzi coming across as well. They are going to look to try and go on to Aoi. Okay, they're just clearing out the creep wave. Now they'll go for it. Dogfight's immediately with the TP out there, and Paparazzi just does not have the damage, and Aoi gets the kill before the TP's there. The impetus damage, just too much, and 4-0-1, fair bit of CS now as well. Level 10, it's all going good for Aoi on this Enchantress.
Yeah, he's big, really nice little mechanical plays. He throws the impetus, then moves back to make sure he gets the extra bit of damage.
And SVG, he's been hitting these hooks. Cicada will get out though. With the chain, Envy does have the follow-through, though. The concoction goes in. SVG looks to focus down him. Envy went first for the Warlock, now comes back across with MSS as they RP down Cicada. Take another in 12-3. NP.
They're stomping. They're stomping really hard right now.
This is pretty insane. Envy will, he stuns his own illusion that was created by the Morphing just to make sure that they don't have the Radiance to farm with. And what the heck is going on? MP turning up to this match with something entirely different.
Okay, he's got the arm. He's fine.
This game is one of a kind. One of the first games I think that we've seen so far at DSC, which has just been. What is going on, MP? They've thrown us off. They've thrown IG.V off guard. I don't think IG.V were expecting anything like this to come out.
Yeah, it's one of the teams where you're like, well, you kind of think you know what MP can throw at you, and there's never been games where MP have really run the Enchantress or Chen that much in the jungle. SVG normally prefers to play these more like annoying, like roaming 4 positions. The Clockworks, the Elder Titan he was really known for a while. He's normally more active on the map. Tusk has even been a hero that's come up, but busting out an Enchantress is probably something that caught him by surprise. And it's Aoi picking up. They're probably just like, what the hell is going on? Aoi's just being camped. He's no longer jungling, really. He's just solo pressuring this bottom lane. He's got some friends in the form of the Clockwork for now, but he's been solo down here for a lot of this game and very farmed. He's now very tanky, hard to kill with both Drums and Dragonlance.
Interesting as well.
100 HP.
Cicada, with the way that he's picked up a hood on the way. But I feel like MP's lineup, they've got a lot of ways that they don't really care about the hood too much, do they?
No, it blocks, like, even just blocking a shockwave or something.
Yeah.
But
I mean, just
hook in. Oh, no hook in, just walked in.
He just walked in and cogged.
Yep. Easy setup. It's one of those items which effectively gives you a bonus 325 HP with the barrier block in a fight, and perhaps blocks a bit of damage from Splinter Blast, Shockwaves. You definitely need to make sure you still get your Bloodstone as fast as possible. Like, you can't just say, oh, okay, I'm going to go fight. I'm done farming now. Bloodstone is still an essential item for the Timber to scale.
I'm talking about scaling. Aoi says he's got the items that he needs. He's going to go back for the Midas that's queued up. And, I mean, understandably, at the moment, he does enough as it is. And the best thing I guess he can do is just prepare for the later stages of the game. Paparazzi, he's just got to be so careful.
Oh, more strength should be enough, but forces him basically back to Fountain at that point.
And now he can do this and he doesn't get punished because at the same time, mid lane, SVG once again closes in with a hook shot.
Yep.
And Envy as well. You've got to admit, he picks up this Radiance and he's become so active. He's not just farming in his own half of the jungle. He's consistently with his teammates. And I wondered if we would see the battle out. We're not seeing it in build, but we're certainly seeing it in play.
It's the Envy farming build. I think this is now kind of ringing more of a bell, like from what I've seen in some of his pub games. He's got Quelling Blade and Iron Talon, Phase, and Boots of Travel. So double boots, double Quelling Blade. Why not?
All the value damage.
The Quelling Blade does stack with the Iron Talon.
Oh, interesting here. IG.V are going to go for initiation, find the call, but at the same time, Emerson on the back. He does get 2. Hunter's Curse has been dropped as well. They'll skewer Super and Injulife back into the hands of MP. They've taken down 2. Here comes the Impetus flying forward. Concoction as well onto Injulife. A double kill for Envy. Cicada seeing if he can maybe clean something up in return as he looks towards MSS. SVG on the high ground. He has got that hook shot back in a few seconds. He's already been pulling out the big plays, and he'll continue to do so. Just walks in, blocks him in the cogs. The damage comes flying through from Aoi. And NP 420 blazing it up here. And straight into the Roche pit.
Yep, I'll finish it off now. Absolutely dominant stuff. And yeah, they're just miles ahead. And I think this is probably one of these builds that Envy has theory crafted, played enough, and he's like, I farm faster. With the Phase Boots bonus damage, able to get movement speed between camps. You get the double bonus damage from Quelling Blade and Iron Talon. He's probably just played it enough and done the maths in his head and maybe even on paper and figured out, like, this is the best way to farm as Alk, at least in his mind and with how he plays it. And
I mean, it's a lot of movement speed. I mean, obviously the movement speed doesn't stack, but the active, when you're having the bonus from the travels.
He's max. He's 550.
Yeah. He's a speedy little boy.
As with the Chemical Rage, but even so, like, having max movement speed and Chemical Rage is pretty valuable.
Looks like they'll get away with this Roche as well. SVG's on the hunt. Doesn't manage to get the vision there with a Rocket Flare. So the Super Warlock will be able to survive.
They are very, very far ahead right now. Morphling is no signs of offering much to his team. A casual Ghost Scepter, trying to rush an Ethereal Blade. Kind of mentioned the Lincoln just isn't going to do a whole lot this game, but he also just isn't that farmed and won't have that many stats to throw into this Ethereal Blade. It'll just be a Treads Ethereal Blade kind of combo coming out. And they're hunting him. They've actually got the Clockwork and Magnus up here looking for kills.
Well, they've got RP in 5 seconds, so they do have the lockdown. And here we go, Paparazzi trying for the TP. They're going to see him just in time, though. SVG, once again, finds the vision, gets the setup, and they'll look for the chase down. Paparazzi can run, but he can't TP. Ghost Scepter ain't going to do anything against Battery Assault, and a Shockwave and a Skewer to the face as he's sent flying back, out of mana, taken down. MSS picks the kill up. And NP just continue. And I mean SVG as well. This guy 529, every hook shot he's been doing something with it. There's just been no chill from this man. He has been consistently in the faces of IG.V.
One of those games where you look at and you're like, man, who's the reason why NP doing so well? And you're like, every single player has done their job and more. Like
absolutely.
I feel like
across
every player has just played perfectly as far as what their hero was supposed to do, and gotten way more than you'd normally expect him to do. Like a Winter Wyvern already level 13 with Blink Arcane Boots.
Oh,
We're 20 minutes in. Like, where does this farm come from? And everyone on the NP side is looking fantastic and teamfight ready. Manta Style complete on the Alchemist. That's going to be flying out in the Courier. Blade Mail on the support Clockwork. Like all these items just accumulating up and making life very, very easy for them. But interesting. Oh, it's in, let's say, do they have a Home of the Domino? No, of course, it's Enchantress. I was like, how do they have a safety?
You're just not used to the Ench being there.
Yeah, Enchantress, hero again, of course.
Oh,
this is relevant once more. But yeah, minus complete. I guess make sure you can get some of those later game talents.
EE though destroying Aui's efficiency. He made that Courier go all the way down to the bottom of the map before it came up to him with that Midas recipe. That's a report. Mid lane, Paparazzi, he is out.
Oh, Aui's there.
And there we go, finally gets the Midas. MV, going to look to help set up onto Paparazzi, and SVG again with the hook shot, making sure that there's a chance for the follow-up stone to connect. Another kill.
Yep.
MV, 22. This is the biggest beatdown we've seen so far at DAC, isn't it? Is it at this stage of a game? 422. I don't think we've seen anything quite like that.
Yeah.
Especially not with an Ench.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing. They're doing this with an Alchemist. It's meant to be like more like, oh, Alk just AFK farms, 25 minutes in, he pops out the jungle, then he's fight. But now he's been pretty active. This is like a fun, stompy Alk game in some ways. We're not seeing like he's just farming, he's doing Alk things. No, this is NP. They play greedy as far as using the jungle well, but they've used that greed to fight and dominate the map.
MSS hunting for more. I know Cicada's there. He does still have an RP, but he doesn't have his team. His team's like, let's focus on the lanes, not waste time chasing the Timber.
Game feeling more and more over as things progress. Not really a good comeback potential. More.
I mean, look,
farm is just not there.
An Alk's farm, 22k. Yep. So we've got 8k plus 6.5. That's 14.5. Plus 5.5. That's 20. So I mean, he's got more farm than the 3 cores of IG.V. That's you know you're having a good out game then.
Yep, that's pretty good. And it's probably only going to get worse. Is the unfortunate state of things. Octarine Core will give him those low cooldowns.
22 minutes in. I said screw out. Yeah, let's just get the Ags out.
Is that Aui's? I want to say it's Aui's.
Surely it's got to be Aui's. I mean, SVG's certainly been showing off with the hook shots, but he himself has already got a point booster. But yeah, I think you give this to Aui.
Or you give it to the Mag because you're like, that aura is for me. You know?
Maybe. That's true. MSS in the mid lane gets the skewer back into the hook shot from SVG. The coordination's there. Hood won't do too much to save him as the impetus comes flying in. The Winter's Curse controls him. And there we have it. After it wears off, the damage comes back through from MP. They do get a nice vacuum wall onto 2 in response. Chaotic off drops as well, but the RP comes in from MSS, corners them up. They don't actually have the follow-up, it seems, initially. Aui does manage to kill up a second. Paparazzi looking towards Aui. And this time round, Vitality are finding trades. They get 2 in return. Paparazzi goes for the TP out, will make it. MV already used the concoction on the backlines to take down, I believe, the Slaughter. So it's a 2 for 2, the best trade that IG.V have had so far this game. SVG just playing around in the outskirts of it. Oh, MV's had the chance to get in and personal onto Super. Making sure that the trade does end up again MP favored. Cicada looking towards SVG, has to be careful. SVG's got that hook shot again, and we know this man knows what to do with it. They're going with the concoction. The Shrine Heal is there to save the Timbersaw. MV falling low, trying to get himself away with a Manta in the arm that toggle, and he will. He'll be fine. Paparazzi's got to be careful. The impetus, the rocket flare, in fact, from SVG, getting the kill. Oh my goodness. NP nearly bringing down the tier 3 as well to top it all off. And SVG's Clockwork. I can't remember last time I saw Clock played this one. This is some next level stuff from it.
Played some very good Dota as far as setting up kills and enabling and creating space for a very greedy draft. When you've got Alk farming the jungle, Enchantress was greedy for the first few minutes, but then started pressuring lanes. But you've got Wyvern camping the mid lane, just farming it up. It does take some excellent plays from a hero like Clock to allow all of that to happen. And there's the MV BKB. This is the solution to the Timbersaw. You won't just get torn to shreds from his spells, and also pretty good against that shotgun Morphling, which is, you probably have seen as coming soon.
MSS has been caught out here. Could he play his way away with the skewer out? I think he might just be able to. He's going to have to blink off cooldown in a second. He's A-OK. He's out of there. Envy heads in, just clears out the illusion, turns towards Paparazzi, who turns to run with the Ghost Scepter. Envy continues to chase down 1437, looking for a chance to Winter's Curse. He'll use it just to hold Cicada in place. MP, they're checking out the situation, trying to find the backliners. Envy pops the BKB, continues to chase down. SVG is there and waiting to make sure the Cicada can't get away. Will get the Bloodstone Suicide off. SVG still has that hook shot.
They're swinging back mid. They're pinging this out. They want to get a lane of racks now. Aui's just going to charge high ground with an Ag Scepter. Yeah, good luck getting near.
Oh, look at that damage. Oh my goodness, where's your shrines now? It's the Empower and the Ags, yeah.
Yep, Empower, Ags,
a little bit extra
damage
from that.
talent, everything coming together there. Well,
wow.
Didn't get the racks, but a buyback coming out. Shrines are open season now as well. It is, yeah, it's pretty ugly. Alk's net worth not looking as crazy as it once did because he pulled an Ags.
Yeah,
and he's
absolutely.
21k net worth while pulling an Ags. Realistically, 4k of Enchantresses was his, but redistributing that wealth.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised as well with the way... Oh, we've got to watch our IG.V here.
Oh,
can they do something?
Popped smoke on the tower.
Oh, MSS has his Shadow Blade, and oh, poor old IG.V.
Yep, could just go for a Blink Skewer here if he wants, or even a Blink RP.
He could go for a big play. He's going to be spotted out as the Shadow Blade wears off. We are going to see on the back in July being focused by Envy. They'll take down the Darks here as the first one. SVG's there with the control onto Cicada. Cicada just melts and GG is called. NP providing us with what's been the biggest beatdown so far in the group stages. 31-6, 27 minutes. Holy moly. Damn. What again? I wasn't expecting this when we came to this. I thought we would have a close game, but MP just... I mean, what was it? The surprise Enchantress?
Big part of it. It definitely kept the lanes disruptive, and then you kind of mentioned SVG playing one of the best Clockworks we've seen this tournament. He had a hell of a game, and I think the big thing is you pick a Timber to counter the Alk, but Alk spent most of the early game in the jungle, so it's like how you actually... You're not at no point did it feel like Cicada was countering or even pressuring the Alk.
No.
The laning stage, like until you get maybe level... At least like level 6, Alk has to leave the lane. Like a level 6 Timber can just solo kill an Alk, but Envy went jungle at like level 4, level 5. He was just like Iron Talon, Quelling Blade, got my phase boots. Like he just jungled. He went for these super early game DPS items that made his jungle incredibly efficient.
I mean, look at this. You know, talking about SVG, he did 14,000 damage. He nearly did very close to Aoi. That's a Clockwork doing that much damage. That's
not a hero you normally expect to do that kind of damage.
I mean,
he hooks in and his job's done. Like
I guess some of it's probably down to the blade mail. Maybe we had a few spells flying his way and he walks and returns it, but that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
A lot of damage.
Very impressive. Huge stomp by NP. And one of the teams who's done well in this group and is looking to get... This group is still very open. No like clear top 2 teams yet in this scary group of death. So walking away with a win here could definitely set MP up to take one of those top 2 spots if they can follow this up with another tie or another win, because they haven't lost a series. They've got 2 ties. Hopefully they don't get a 3rd tie. They really need to get the 3 points from a win here going into game 2, but looking like they're playing at the kind of level that can do that.
Absolutely. Game 2 is going to be a real question what IG.V do after receiving a treatment like that from MP. But I'm sure you guys and girls won't go anywhere, as Game 2 will be right around the corner, and we'll see if MP can pull off another stomp like that, or if IG.V will indeed come back fighting hard and with potentially a little bit of a different strat. And maybe MP. Maybe they'll surprise us again. We'll find out very shortly.